Career is a masterclass in engineering excellence, process discipline, and people leadership. Mr. Vinayaka Hegde.
Yeah, I have to make a bridge between them to make sure how the engineer and talking to engineers in engineers language and to customers in a customer's language.
You really showed me a vivid window into your world, sir, and I can almost picture the coordination happening across time zones.
More of a human safety because it's a lot of things results in a human safety. There is more stringent rules, more things.
Alright. Hey everyone, welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm the host Charu Mehra, and today we're going under the hood of something that quietly shapes every modern drive you and I take. Not the engine, not the fuel, but the software that turns a car into a smart, connected experience. When most people hear automotive software, they picture lines of code, tech jargon, and maybe a few screens buried deep in an R&D center. What they don't see is the strategy, the architecture, and the leadership that makes your music seamless, your navigation intuitive, and your calls clear. All while your car is hurtling down the highway at 100 kilometers per hour. Our guest today is someone who hasn't just watched that transformation, he's helped build it. Mr. Vinayaka Hegde, Director, Software, a technology and innovation driven leader with nearly 25 years in the automotive software industry. From building cutting edge infotainment platforms on Android, QNX, and Linux, to architecting audio systems for global OEMs, to leading delivery across India, USA, Germany, and China. His career is a masterclass in engineering excellence, process discipline, and people leadership. And the best part, he does not do this in a lab in Silicon Valley, but right here from Bengaluru, proving that world class automotive software can be imagined and engineered in India for the world. Mr. Hegde, it is such a pleasure to have you on FaceTime with Leaders. How are you today?
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Charu. So it's a nice to have a conversation with you all about my experience, my past, and everything. And I believe in sharing the knowledge. Sharing the knowledge always improves our knowledge as well as the we will help to improve the others' knowledge through both the it's like a two-way so that to both of us or as a team we can work for a better future from a
Absolutely.
technology perspective. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. Wonderful to hear that, Mr. Hegde. And once again, welcome to the show. So let's get started. Mr. Hegde, you've spent almost 25 years inside the fascinating world of automotive software and infotainment. If you could take us back a bit, maybe to the early days, and share in your own words how this journey began.
Okay, it is really great to hear that because it will remind me of a lot of my uh, past experience or the memories. So when I came out of the engineering, so there is a lot of recession. There is not so much of jobs anywhere. So I thought of doing my own. Okay, but a lot of things they did not there. But luckily, I got a chance to work on a small scale embedded product or equipment manufacturing company. So I started journey with that. So and also I got an opportunity to take over that company, but
Wow.
because of the multiple business reasons I could not able to take over. So that the moment I found, so since it did not work out, I jumped on to software development. That is where the That is what the dream of almost every engineer during that time. So the software development is the core thing. So I
Right.
started with, yeah, that I started with. Again, it is a embedded technology. That was my core interest. So I started with a players like MP3 player, set-top box, these kind of things where I used to port or develop the audio codecs, what we call the MP3 player, all the MPEG things. What we used to hear that time, MP3 player was a great demand. So those things.
Right.
Then after a few years, I got a opportunity to start with a silicon company to work on a brand new silicon technology, which is intended for automotive infotainment.
Okay.
So that is, I'll say, the breakthrough where I entered into automotive technology, where I was responsible. I means myself and my team. I was joined as a tech lead, so whole thing I was responsible for a bring up of the silicon, develop the showcase the silicon capabilities like audio processing, audio DSP processing and capability, and the applications. Say my DSP capability to show to customer, I need to write some applications because applications will be generally from customers. So, but to showcase, I need to write something. So written this. That whole thing gave a lot of exposure what the automotive technology is going to be down the line. When I
Right.
started this, you might have seen the radios with the just LCD or LED screens with lot of hard keys like a volume knob or a hard buttons.
Yes.
Lot of those things, it's a olden technology. But when I looked into this, what their silicon vendor is trying to do, company, I mean the silicon company is trying to do, I saw that it has a lot of longer technology roadmap, because this is the new technology. Every whole vehicle world is going into digital technology. That's what my journey started. So after that, I never looked back, because one after the other technologies I started developing.
Right.
And current days, you can see it is, I would say, almost all the technologies are connected to one other way, connected to internet or connected to other vehicle, V2X, VA or V2V, kind of a lot of technologies now it is available. But I've seen this journey from that days, the non-digital to digital conversion,
Yes.
whole journey I worked upon. And I am happy, I am proud to say, I worked through all these years on multiple vehicle customers and OEMs, original and manufacturers, what we call, with multiple vehicles like a cars, two-wheelers, or a construction vehicle, or a agriculture vehicle, or any normal goods vehicles. Where every segment of the vehicle I worked on an infotainment part and the digital clusters. I would proudly say it is a, I never counted, but it's 30 plus percentage of the vehicles in the around the world will have one or the other component developed by me or my team. That is the
Wow.
great, proud moment, I would say.
Absolutely, sir. That is such a powerful image that you painted for us. You can, almost I can imagine the industry growing and changing along with your career. And
Yes,
that is kudos to you on that success, sir. And
thank you.
also like you faced a few challenges where you were not able to, take up that opportunity where to overtake the company, but you turn those around and you set up a clear vision for the future and it really shows what persistence looks like. So kudos on that, so congratulations.
Thank you.
So let's zoom into your current world a little bit because this is where your career and the industry really meet. Today, you're director software at Visteon, leading around 75 engineers across India, Germany, and the USA, focusing on audio and Turner softwares for infotainment systems. For someone like me who only sees the finished car, what does a typical day in your role actually look like? And what are the main balancing between technology, people, and customers?
Okay, it's a really a great question, and yeah, I love to share that experience. Definitely, the my day starts with like everyone my daily work, so which is beyond the work. My I would say daily my household works. I would say so. But that is the just a start. The moment after finish all these things, my first thing goes into mostly the since this is a more responsible role, so I would look at what are the escalations. Is there any new
Yes.
escalations? Is there what escalations which are raised yesterday, is those things are resolved,
Mhm.
or is there anything pending? And all these things, how do I resolve them? Means how do I means, as you know, it's a maybe personally, so I may need to contact multiple people, and luckily I have a great team. Even if I send message at a morning 8 a.m, so people will respond what they know their responsibility.
Yes.
That I would say a very great thing. And it is the, I would say there's the experience across my life. So there are some people may feel that it's a work life balance is not so great, but
Right.
that depends on how do you take it. So if you want to learn the technology, you want to see the future of the technology, then that is the some part we have to always compromise, but not always. That is
Exactly.
the great thing. That the I would say how the day starts. But the real challenge comes between how do we balance between technology, people, and suppliers and customers? Because
Right.
it's not just a technology. I have my team, own team, and there are suppliers. Suppliers may be maybe some suppliers may be supplying people, because I will not have
Right.
all people as a salary. That's the standard norm. So some
Mhm.
suppliers are supplying people, some suppliers may be supplying the hardware, some may be
Yes.
supplying equipment, like that. All suppliers, multiple
Agree.
suppliers. Then finally, customer. So we have to balance between all these things. Even if the one of them we are not able to get a response, or we miss on them, that is the it will overall whole project timeline or a whole project execution goes into a problem.
Right.
So it is a biggest challenge is to balance between all those things. I always see that as the biggest challenge for a leader, so especially. And sometimes it is very difficult to convince people, or people means I'll say all people, our own people, suppliers or customers, on to some specific points. They have their own views, we have their
Mhm.
own our views,
Agree.
and in between there is some blocks which they can't see, or we can't see their problems. So that is the difficult situation, and we cannot say like it is not as a professional we cannot fight that.
Yes.
All those situations we have to
Yes.
handle in a professional manner, so that both people are convinced. So that is the biggest challenge as a leader. I
Agree.
always see to see, give an example, say as an engineer, say as a fresher who joined maybe just out of college, or maybe who has a 5 6 years experience. Those guys don't see a problem what the customer sees.
Right.
Customers looks from a user perspective, their market perspective. These guys will not able to see that. But I am happy to say, because these nowadays all the people use cars, use two wheelers, they understand at least some part. It is
Some
not
part.
like the other industry.
Yes.
I would say I'm lucky to have this field, because they understand at least some part. Not all, but they understand the user experience some part. But definitely they will not able to understand customer difficulties, like manufacturing difficulty or a production level difficulties, where they need they press for a lot of urgency, and where the engineers will not able to understand some urgency. We have to make a bridge between them, to make sure how the engineer and to talk to engineers in a engineer's language, and to customers in a customer's language, so that
Customer's language.
bridge the gaps. That is the biggest challenge what I see in the, that the, I would say currently it is increased the challenges because of the customer expectation of time to market the product.
Mhm.
So earlier we used to work on a product like a 2 years, 3 years to get out of the product. Now customer expectation is to get the product in 6 months to 1 year to or worst case 2 years, not beyond that. That
Right.
shrinking timeline is the biggest challenge to handle all these things, and I expect this will not decrease, it will always increase because timeline shrinks. We have to find a
Exactly.
new ways, like a artificial intelligence or those AI or other methods to shrink. How do we shrink the product timeline so that faster to market can be achieved? Another, yeah, there is another challenge where we work with the global leader. One is US, which is totally opposite of India,
Yes.
and one is the Japan, where it is the other side opposite
Right.
of India,
Yes.
and China, Germany. They are like a first half, second half. This, if I take these four regions, they are totally. If I work from India, I will get all regions. Same problem with the other regions also,
Yes.
but working with these reasons is a another challenge where we should be flexible enough to array, talk to those guys in all time zones
Yes.
accordingly. It may not be every day, but at
Yes.
least we should arrange in a week. We should able to talk to them one guy in the morning, maybe you Japanese guys, some guys in the late night because US guys, and in between I have to adjust between India, China, and European regions. That is the second challenge, I would say. Most of the global, whoever works with the global team, that is
Yes.
the another biggest challenge.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you.
sure you definitely don't have a normal 9 to 6 time window.
Yes,
It's you have to cover all time zones.
yes, that's right.
Yes, wow, wonderful. So thank you for sharing that with us. So you've seen this industry from the days of basic audio systems like we talked about to today's Android-based fully connected cockpits. From your perspective, what have been the biggest shift in the automated infotainment space over the last 2 decades? And how do you personally adapt your skills and leadership style to stay relevant throughout these changes?
Okay, yeah, this is again a great technology question
Yeah,
because I have seen, definitely, I have seen the. I not worked on the olden non-digital radios, but I have seen how it works, and my journey started the moment digitization started. But it's great. So when we used to work with it was very challenging, of course, because I had to keep on learning. As I mentioned, learning never stops. It is we have to keep learning. So the when I started, it was like a QNX, Linux. That like QNX is more of a RTOS, and Linux is a semi RTOS. Sometimes they used to do RT Linux kind of environments.
correct.
That is the world where it is a more of a time critical and a safety related lot of things. Those are all things where in the when I started, that's the how the we used to see biggest picture. Those are all different kind of challenges because the real-time OS works in a different way, and making
Right,
a beautification, like a beautification more of a, I'm talking about a user screens, user experience, what we can
right,
say UX. How do you see screen? How do you see colors? That was a little challenging because a lot of things you have to do everything yourself. But I would say the real turn came in when the Google introduced Android for automotive infotainment. I even though before Google introduced, I means as an industry we started working on with the Android to see how can we adapt it to the Android, and we have released products based on Android also, where Google was not yet ready to integrate into vehicles, but we have ourselves as a tier one, what we call the who supplies to the vehicle manufacturers. They call tier one. As a tier one companies, multiple companies started. Similarly, my journey also started with that. It was a lot of struggle, the Android thing. But the moment Google introduced their own software, which is suitable for vehicle, they call
right,
automotive Android, automotive AOSP, even though it's open source, but it's not same as mobile. Mobile or tablet, those are different. This is
right,
little different than that. They introduced separate OS for the automotive. That introduction from that like a big company like a Google, that changed the whole world. That's
Right.
where the whole transition started.
Right.
Everyone, because it's once you adapt it to the Google or that kind of a user experience where you see your mobile experience, you can see same thing on your car, the
Yes.
screens. You
Yes.
see no difference. Such a great experience when you get, everyone is trying to shift. But the biggest challenge came there, learning. So everyone has to learn.
Yes.
So we are learned the Linux, QNX, that's all our learned, but the Android is a new because we are all in the vehicle industry. We have never looked into mobile at any time. So Android is a brand new thing for a vehicle. We are working on vehicle industry. So we have to learn that. That is a one of the biggest challenge where we faced. But I would say everyone jumped into. There is no nothing called learning phase. It is a on-the-job learning. So everyone jumped into face the challenge as a team. So to
Yes.
learn the project by project, they learned everything. That's how we everyone grown. Whoever is, I would say, who seen this transition from non-Android to Android, they everything they learned with very hardship. They know in and out of the
I'm
system. Yeah, and another biggest challenge because of this is, so getting a right talent. See,
absolutely
I can get a Linux or QNX automotive software developer, but I can't get an Android automotive software developer because no one has worked on that. It is
right.
a so it is getting a right talent is another biggest challenge. Otherwise, I have to hire the automotive talent. I have to train on
Pain
Android.
on.
Yeah, I have to hire an Android talent. Then I have to train on automotive. Both
Right.
are have its own challenges because
Right.
a lot of huge difference between mobile and or a consumer product like mobile, TV, tablet, that and a automotive world because.
Right. Right.
Automotive is a more of a human safety because it is a lot of things.
Of
It's
course.
results in a human safety. That is more stringent rules, more things, and adapting Android to those rules because we adapted Android OS, but the rules have not changed.
Agreed.
Rules are still same. Safety rules, safety and security rules we cannot change. That is the biggest challenge when we started facing it. How do we adapt to that? And the time goes, but now a lot of things internet start connected with the Android comes into picture. Connecting to internet becomes easy. Now the biggest challenge is cybersecurity. That is where they added a lot of cyber security
Yes.
experts. Their
Yes.
challenge is also same. They have done everything in the consumer or a network or those database, but they are not done on automotive, which is
Automotive.
totally different environment. So for
Right.
them also the same challenge. How do we adapt that their core concept of cyber security into automotive? That
Automotive.
is the biggest challenge and the transition happened. I would say still that is exist those challenges,
Those
but
challenges,
lot
unfortunately.
of things have improved lot because they have adapted. Now everyone learned how to do such a secured system. Now I would say it's a great journey to see all these transition on this aspect also. This,
Absolutely.
yeah, security, the learning and finding the right talent, there are multiple challenges what we face. That is still there, I would say. Still now because the expectation of the talent is increased, so now
Right.
also that is the getting right
Right.
talent is still a problem, but it is, I would say, better than the previous years.
And then, there is something new coming up so frequently. So
Yes, yeah,
you cannot have someone who's 100% trained in everything.
correct,
So
yeah,
that
that is the
challenge
another
will
challenge.
constantly go on. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. That is the another challenge where the technology, when it grows, every time it's a new technology. And when the new technology comes in, we don't have a ready-made people who learned
Yes,
this already. So we have to compromise on some part and we have to train them and we have to make them expert in this technology. Very few will be expertise who really worked on this technology from the
yes,
scratch.
yes.
Other than that, we will not have so many people around.
Agreed, agreed. That was such a powerful snapshot of how far the industry has come, sir, from simple hardware-led systems to these intelligent software-driven ecosystems. And
Yes.
as you, yeah, I mean, as you described it, adapting through each wave really shows how much constant learning goes into staying relevant. So, this is just like I would say, doctors are constantly studying. It's something like that. You're doctors of the
Correct.
machine.
Yes. Yeah, they will
Wonderful.
study the human or the diseases, what can happen every day, new diseases. Here we learn a lot of
Absolutely.
new technology.
Similarly for you. Wonderful, sir. Kudos on that.
Thank you.
Now, many of our listeners are engineers, tech leads, or young professionals who dream of working in an automotive shop floor, maybe even in infotainment. So, from everything you've seen, what skills, mindsets, or habits really matter? If someone wants to build a strong career, long-term career in this industry, what is the advice that you'd like to give to them?
Another great question, Charu. Thanks for asking that. So I'll definitely will be always happy to mentor or guide some great engineers who can build their career in the automotive industry. In my view, it is not the just software developers. It is, I would say, automotive industry is not just for software developers. There are software developers, there are SoC manufacturers where they manufacture chips, and the chips means not just a great CPU or great processors. There are other components also, lot of like amplifiers, like small components also, like from
Right,
smallest component like register to whole multi-core processing units. Everything, whole thing forms a hardware where everything matters for a automotive. It is not everything is same as consumer grade. So that's why that whole semiconductor industry also is supportive, has to change as per the automotive industry, how it is changing,
right,
not just
right.
software. That's what I mean. And there are other parts also, other than this semiconductor and software, like PCB designs. So how do we do multi-layer PCBs,
Mhm.
and how do we compact the PCB designs with the automotive grade PCBs?
Right,
And there are other like mechanical designs. So it is not just these things. There are the whole around. So I have to fit in a box. It's a metal box, and as we know, the any electronic products will generate heat. Then that heat has to be dissipated. Otherwise, the life of the product will come down. So that is part of the mechanical design. And how do we design a mechanical parts? How do we
right,
design a connectors? What type of connectors will fit for which customers? Their
right,
vehicle design will be totally different. Everyone need a different connectors. How they can optimize and fit the connectors to customer needs? That's what I mean. This is not a just software. They have can grow the, anyone can
Understood. Yes.
develop that whole automotive technology across all these things. This I am talking just the dashboard.
Right.
Okay, there are more than dashboard, like vehicle itself, the powertrain or the
Yes.
battery technology. All those are outside the dashboard. I am just viewing from just a dashboard what the driver and front passenger see. Their screen or their cluster where they show
Yes.
speedometer and all, and there they play video or audio. There they connect the phone
Right.
and all. I'm just talking about this. In this
Right.
only, we
Right.
have so many fields apart from the other vehicle fields, where the vehicle manufacturer themselves will have a lot of way, lot of technology. Those also is a one way, and this the other is the dashboard technology, where they can involve all these things. And if we whoever is interested on the software only, there are a lot, still lot of technology growth is happening. How do we design the infotainment and cluster together as a
Right.
software?
Right.
Because as a cluster means the for whoever understand the vehicle, the cluster means where we get the speedometer or a engine speed and
Right.
other critical warnings where a belt is not worn or a door is open. All these warning what we see behind the steering wheel, that is called cluster. That is a totally different technology compared to what we see the entertainment, where you can play
Right.
music, connect the mobile or to talk over phone. All that and these are little different. Little means there are large on a safety and security perspective, because
Mm-hmm.
this has to be more secure, which will give a critical part, and this is more of an entertainment. It is not as critical as this what you see on the cluster. So these are two different. They can learn both the parts, or they can learn one part. That's the dedicated teams works on this part and this. There are a lot of security technologies like SL, A, B, C. There are multiple grades of safety and security in the vehicle. And similarly, on the cyber security, they have different levels where they can learn and become expertise. So I would say it is vast area. Just
Yeah.
I'm talking about the dashboard. It's a very huge, so they can enter into any of these things. It's every part of that. The technology grows. It is
Mm.
just not that I will upgrade the software. Everything remains same. That is not going to happen. And
Yeah.
in the world, vehicles will not be stopped manufacturing. The as long the humans exist in the world, the vehicle will exist. As long
Absolutely.
the vehicle will exist, the technology will keep on growing. Now still we see like a driverless cars or a ADAS and all this. Still ADAS is not yet implemented to full extent. We still see ADAS level 1 or 2. See, ADAS is a advanced driver assistance system where is
Right.
don't
Right.
have that details. That is still we are at the level 2 only. Level 3 is not so much popular or not
Popular.
so much produced so much. It is not yet approved by users so much. That also a lot of things growing there. That is another field. ADAS is a totally different field. What we I would say I and my team or I have seen, we are doing only integration. There is a separate team which does all this ADAS development. We will integrate that into our system. One is integration is a biggest task. That is also different field which you can learn. ADAS it's another field where they can learn. I would say it is a very huge area in
Yeah.
this. Every part grows from one smallest screw. Screw also matters a lot in these kind of scenarios to the end, the software. And the other part is like a, I would say tuning. This is a for whoever has very much technology in savvy or tech savvy guys who understand this tuning. To give a just a basic knowledge, when I develop a car, if I just simply play music, it will
Right.
not be heard so smooth.
Right.
Okay, because it's a closed environment
Right.
and the materials, everything matters lot to make it a smooth. Like
Mm-hmm.
any even in the cinema theaters or a concert halls, everything it's same matters. Only difference is that is a huge big halls and the small hall, the car. That is another technology where people can concentrate on tuning. How best I can make the sound audible inside a car. That is the like not too harsh or not too loudy, because sometimes you will never feel or a speech is, if you are talking over a phone, you should able to hear the other end voice very clearly, crystal.
Clearly. Right.
Yeah, all those is part of the there's something called audio tuning. That
Mm.
is also another field where great people are required. Then that don't have a lot of experts who are doing that. So that is similarly like broadcast radios where the AM, FM, DAB or SXM, all these are technologies
Right.
exist across the world. Those are all also has to be tuned as per the hardware and vehicle needs so that you can hear the stations correctly. Like say if I tune to say 93.5 or 98.3, something like that as a station, I should able to hear the clear audio for 98.3.
Right.
I should not get that audio from say 98.5, which is
Okay.
adjacent channel. All
Right.
those kind of challenges will be there. That is another field where the tuning guys can concentrate. These are all multiple areas they can work on, and it will never going to stop. I would say every area this technology grows, and they have a huge opportunity. And at least until now I am not seeing who are working on automotive field they are lack of technology, less work, or they are lack of a work.
Okay.
It's a great
Wow.
field.
Wow, that was really a thoughtful reflection, sir. And I think a lot of young engineers listening will find comfort in what you said. And what I got from it is that they have to keep their mind open and not just stick to one thing. And
Yes, exactly.
absolutely, curiosity and adaptability matter more than just mastering one language or platform, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That is right. Because today I may do this tuning, which is very good. I may need tuning engineers. I don't know the technology advances. I may able to do that through AI.
Right,
Today I may need 5 engineers for the tuning. So with the AI, I may need 2 engineers. So, but that does not mean the job goes away.
right,
I would say they should be, as you told, they should be flexible enough to shift to the other part of the maybe the tool, AI tool upgrade to make the reduction so that it is more accurate, and we can do more faster way, and it will reduce the burden on the humans also. Just to give an example, when we do tuning, we have to hear the music from zero, means no music, to full volume. When you close the car, if you hear it at a full volume, say for a 10 minutes, you will always feel very hectic. Means
right,
your whole
right,
brain goes for like you feel like a headache or something.
right, right.
Lot of time that happens, and they have to do for every variant, very type of the car for multiple variants. That is a, like I would say, as a from a human perspective, that is a very hectic job. Because that is, if they can, the technology is growing so that they can reduce that part. Instead of hearing a manually, they can interrupt the AI to do that, but that does not mean his job goes off.
Right.
Instead of manually hearing that sound, he will shift to
Yeah,
AI development to make that to without hearing himself, the AI can give the input what he needs.
agreed, agreed. It's like a enabler there.
Yes, yeah, it is like an enabler. But he, as you told, it's a flexibility for him to, he should able to shift his working style to, or the knowledge he should use what he has learned to adapt it to other
Others.
technologies.
Agree, agree. Wonderful. All right, Mr. Hegde, time to shift gears for a moment. Rapid fire round. Short questions, quick answers. Ready?
Yes, I'm
Let's
ready.
go. Okay, first one. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Check escalations.
Okay. Your comfort food after an intense release or milestone.
It will be home food, home
Home
cooked
food?
food.
Wonderful. Okay. One hobby that instantly relaxes you when you step away from code and calls.
My terrace garden.
Ah. Okay, next one.
Now, yeah.
A movie you watched way too many times.
Uh, the Kannada movie, the Kirk Party, and the Kantara.
Oh, that I know. Okay, all right. Next one. One app you absolutely can't live without.
Really, to tell the Teams and Outlook.
Lately, everyone I've been talking to is giving the same answer. Teams.
Yes.
Okay. Next one. Your favorite place to travel to when you actually get time off from deadlines.
My farm or my native, which is also I'll say farm.
And where is it, sir?
It is my farm is near Chenpatna. It's on Bangalore Mysore highway. Just
Okay, okay.
other one is on the Western Ghats. My native is
Wow,
Western
must be
Ghats.
nice and peaceful
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Next one. A song that never fails to lift your mood, especially on a late drive.
Any melodious or a classical music.
Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, next one. Your all-time favorite sports person or team?
So, of course, the Indian cricket team and Dhoni. So,
Wow. Okay. All right. Next one. One thing on your bucket list you still want to tick off.
okay, I would say that is the retirement after my.
That was a good one, sir. Okay, last one. If your life as an engineer and leader had a title, what would it be?
Okay, it's a difficult question. I would say tech, hands-on engineer, hands-on leader. I would
Hands-on
say.
leader. Nice one.
I
Nice
still,
one.
I still do some amount of coding. That's
Okay. Nice, nice, sir. That's wonderful. Thank you for being so candid and so spontaneous with us. This really, lets the audience know the person behind the professional. So thank you for being so candid and honest with us. Thank you, sir. So, Mr. Hegde, every industry has its wake up calls, moments that force everyone to pause and rethink how things are being done. In automotive and software, we've seen our share. Recalls due to software issues, cybersecurity concerns in connected cars, questions about data privacy, and over the air updates. So, when you look at these episodes in your industry, what do you think is the biggest lesson for today's automotive and technology leaders? And for you personally, what have these moments taught about ethics, transparency, and doing the right thing, even when it means pushing back on speed and convenience?
okay. Yeah, it is. I would say it is another great question when we consider this industry in such a rapid growth. I would say biggest thing is the security, especially cyber security, where
Right.
we are in a rapid speed of development. Every OEM wants to bring their product into market before someone else brings in. But the biggest challenge or the lot of people will, I would say, is to neglect to some extent or deprioritize some part is the cyber security, which is the critical part. So
Yes.
because it is the more of a human safety and the inside the car as well as outside car in the connected world, cyber security is the biggest challenge what I see. And
Right.
at least I heard of, means I have not experienced that, but I heard of some OEMs are mm, um, means hiring professional hackers to find out what is the threat they are seeing in their vehicles. It is not
Right.
just what I'm seeing a dashboard. It is beyond dashboard also. They are seeing what if the hackers can hack their vehicle and what problems it creates. At least I know this they are doing, but I have not personally experienced. But definitely every OEM definitely they are doing this part because that is the way. Otherwise, you will not able to find. Even though the trust is there between the supplier and the manufacturer, but we need to find a way. How can you ensure that trust is really true? Because both of them might not have able to identify even some of the security issues that
Right.
hackers will able to identify.
Yes,
They will able
absolutely.
to identify and tell these are all the weak points. So that is the biggest challenge I see as a current or the going forward because of the AI and other new hacking methods what the every hackers is trying to do. So it may be driverless vehicles when comes in, it may become more and more problem because they may hack and create a lot of issues. So this is the biggest challenge what I see. And in the rapid growth also, the another challenge is the quality. As you mentioned, the recall, we should see what quality can do recall. Like there are some European and US that specific reasons have their own legal requirements. If I
Okay.
don't meet that legal requirements, I have to
Right.
recall vehicles.
Agreed. Agreed.
One part, it is a legally every car manufacturer is obliged for that to meet that legal requirements. There is no option. I have to recall and fix that.
Right.
And second part is user experience. Even if I give a bad user experience, my brand value goes down. So that is why that is also another place where I have to take a lot of effort to make sure user experiences are not reach the user. User, I
Right.
mean user experience problems does not reach the user.
Reach the consumer.
We have,
Yeah.
we have to, even though our speed is fast, we should not miss any checkpoints. Every
Agreed.
checkpoints we have to diligently follow to make sure user feels always better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I hope I given a
Yes, yes.
crisp.
It is what you said is such a powerful reminder of how responsibility evolves with technology. And, you know, it's always the best to choose ethics over convenience, even if it is the difficult thing to do. And the way you've talked about innovation, it's really harder to talk about restraint. But as you suggested, that it's the problem should not reach the user. The way companies are hiring hackers to see where there is an issue in their system. So that is, there are these are good steps that can be taken. So you've recently been associated with Directors Institute. What drew you to the institute in the first place?
Okay, this is a interesting question, Charu. I always wondering, not now, for quite some time, I would say, I always wondering why these decisions are taken. Some of the decisions always wonder me why they are not done this, why they have done this. Like it's some of the management decision. It may be a technology decision, or it may be a simple people management decision, or it may be a company roadmap decisions. Okay, that's always a I in my experience I not seen nothing means everything is something totally wrong or something totally correct.
Right.
Every decision or everything has a pros and cons, its own pros and cons. The
Agreed.
decision will be only based on what is right for my company or my company's vision or mission, what I have, what is right for that. But I always was wondering why these decisions are done like this, not like this, something like that. Then I thought, so I saw the Director Institute's course, and I attended 2 3 webinars also to understand what you teach and what is the importance. So then I really understood that I should learn this, because otherwise I'm not able to understand. If I am not able to understand, I'm not able to convince my team why
Convince.
these decisions are
Absolutely.
taken.
Right.
So I at least not only from the growth perspective, even to current scenario to explain to my team in their own language, should able to understand why these decisions are taken, and then I will able to explain it. That is the main reason I joined this, so that I will always able to satisfy my own things why these decisions are taken. I will able to at least evaluate why these might have taken, and based on the company's situation, and able to explain it to team also wherever
Right.
such questions will come. Always I faced these questions in like my all hands, why this is done like this, why they don't do like this, why we are not doing this, why we are doing only this. These and all lot of questions which are related to business decision, that I will able to definitely able to explain better. I thought this is the right course I should do to understand all these aspects.
Wow, wow. Thank you for that feedback, sir. And this is a really powerful way of looking at leadership, turning governance and decisions into enablers. You wanted to understand why certain thing has been done so that you can convey it to your team. And Usually people don't think like that. So congratulations on that. And also what is inspiring to me is that you have such an extensive experience. You've worked in so many, you've worked for so many years, but you're still open to learning new skills and enhancing your skills for your future. So congratulations on that, sir. And I wish you all the very best for your future goals.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Hegre, this has been a truly enriching conversation. You've given our audience a real insider's view of automotive software world, the opportunities, the pressures, and the incredible pride of seeing your work on the road in real cars driven by real people. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, your industry insights, and your leadership lessons with us today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors.
Thanks a lot, Charu. Nice talking to you.
Great. To everyone listening, I hope today's episode gave you not just a peek into automotive infotainment and software, but also a roadmap for building a meaningful career in any fast changing industry. Keep learning, stay grounded, and never compromise on trust. I'm Charu Mehra, and until next time, stay curious, keep evolving, and as always, lead with integrity. Thank you.